got a Windows Phone 7 client.
Ah, right, I see. Yeah.
So, are you filming?
Yeah.
We've got a Plex client here. So we've got access to our library. We've got a server here. We've got all my channels available. I've got my queue. What's that?
So which is your server that you connect to?
Right now, I'm connecting to the Mac Mini here.
Right, okay, so you've got Plex installed on there.
Yeah.
That's got content on it.
It's got content on there, but it's also providing access to, my queue and all the channels and all that stuff as well.
Right.
As well as stuff that's been shared from other media servers to me.
Yeah.
So other friends and family that might be sharing content. And then this is a new thing now, the ability to recommend, links and stuff to friends.
Right.
So that's new as well. And there's my queue, for which I can add stuff, bookmark it.
Yeah.
I can even, my Plex now gives you an email address. You can just forward links to it. They'll show up in your queue.
Right, okay, that's cool, yeah. So, I mean, that's something we wrote about on the site a while ago, the MyPlex. So this is sort of cloud stored.
Exactly. Cloud coordination, not cloud storage yet.
Yeah.
The ability to kind of, have an account, to be able to queue things up, recommend to your friends is what's coming, what's new.
So if I see a video on, and I think, I want to watch that on my Windows Phone later.
Yep.
I can email that to my Plex.
Yep.
And then go
it'll show up on your queue on all of your devices. So whether it's on your TV, it'll show up. Let's get queue up here. There's my queue.
Right.
There, it shows up on here, like we showed before. It'll show up on, our iPads and, basically anywhere you are, it'll show up on all your devices.
Right, yeah.
On my iOS devices, my Android devices, it'll show up on our Google TV. There's the Samsung TV app. One of the other things that is new is the Plex Media Server will also be a DLNA server soon.
Right.
So you'll be able to get to, content on things like, I got a cheat sheet here. On things like the Xbox. This is me, surfing my Plex Media Server.
Of course, and it'll see the Plex server as a DLNA server.
Exactly. So Xbox, PS3, any DLNA client in theory will be able to support over time.
Right, that's good.
So that's
so if you've got web content that you add to your list of things you want to view, that's on your server. Can you then watch that web content through the Xbox because it's going to pull through the client? Now that's where it gets good because that's one thing you can't do on the Xbox.
Exactly. Exactly. So any of that web content, the video queue should show up here in a second, I hope. But that's the idea. That the recommendations, the queue, all the channels.
Right. Okay.
Same thing right there.
So effectively, you're surfing online content through the Xbox
or the PS3. Or
which you wouldn't normally be able to do really without other hoops to jump through.
Exactly. So there's that, and then I think I mentioned before, we got this new concept of being able to kind of share content with your friends. And you can see that in here. Here I am looking at a video, and I can recommend it, to my friends.
Okay,
Down there. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we're definitely revamping, a bunch of this stuff. There's going to be some new views, a bunch of different ways you're going to be able to, filter content on here and do all sorts of cool stuff with the mobile clients as well.
Yeah. So really, if you wanted to get started with and using Plex, then you need an account on the MyPlex.
Yep.
And then, do you need a server setting up somewhere?
You don't need one anymore. You can use the queue and the recommendation stuff, and people can share content with you.
Yeah.
Whether it's photos with your family or home videos or whatever you want to share with your friends. So a lot of people are using it without their own server. Yeah. Once you get your own server, you can now start to share content you have, your music and photos and movies and stuff like that.
And there's a Mac server and there's a PC server.
And Linux, and we're actually available on a number of different network-attached storage devices as well.
Right.
Like Netgear and Synology and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you've got a Netgear NAS, you can then index
install
that.
the Plex app onto the Netgear NAS.
And of course, with it being a DLNA server, then you can use anything as a client. It doesn't matter. You don't need
Exactly.
That's excellent. You've kind of been tracking the growth of Plex in the last 12 months as you've seen all this new stuff come out. It's getting really impressive sort of suite of
Yep. I mean,
applications.
I really think right now we're at the point where we can get your content and this, web content on more places, than any other system. Period.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise, you end up in a world where you're just using, the Samsung stuff or the LG stuff or what's available on the Google TV. Now you can kind of get on all these devices with a consistent set of access, whether you're mobile or hooked up to TV or whatever.
Excellent. Well, I think it's really good. So where do we go to get more information?
So plexapp.com.
And the Windows Phone client, when's that?
It's going to be in Q1 here, so soon.
Excellent. Thanks very much for that.
All right, cheers.